My name is Brian Heat, speaker, trainer, and educator. I've been an educator for about 15 years. What got me into the work of motivating and changing lives was my mother. She's been a 30-year educator and an educator to this day. I remember very early in life, I saw her operating as an upper bound director in the city of Pittsburgh. Literally, I saw people come into her life one way and they would leave better. They would leave more improved. And with that, it captivated me. It made me feel that there was no higher calling, the ability to walk into someone's life and to make a difference. Because of that, I went into education, and I've taught at every level from elementary all the way to college. And what became exciting was I began to believe that the same message I had in the classroom of motivating and changing lives despite the obstacles, despite what other people were saying the students could or could not do, that I had an opportunity to break through that and change their lives forever. So I began to take it to a larger stage. And the incredible part was, not only was I changing the lives of audiences across the country, but I began to meet brothers like this right here, in terms of Dasani and Dandre and several other powerful speakers across the country. And I began to formulate, how powerful would it be if I could join the stage with other amazing talent and really change lives, despite the issues?
My name is Dasani Whitfield, and I'm a 30-year veteran of film, television, and theater, 3-time Emmy nominee. And I have been hard at work at my craft since the age of 15 years old. I've been in the living rooms of millions of people on the most watched television show in history, The Cosby Show. And some people, when they see me as a speaker, are somewhat puzzled. They look at me like a unicorn. But when they hear me speak, they understand, and that's because there is a clear distinction between doing what you do that you're passionate about doing, and then doing something that is actually your purpose. I never really truly realized that being a speaker and being an agent for change was my purpose until a couple of years ago. And I always thought that being an actor, being a performer, being an entertainer was my purpose. And once I realized that my life was really supposed to be about service, that's when it all changed. And I didn't realize that my work as an actor and the other things that I did growing up in Brooklyn were actually preparing me for what my purpose was.
That's right.
And so once I stepped into this, it was like stepping into, a time machine, because I went from nothing to a whole lot immediately. And so now the intensity in which I work as a speaker and an agent for change is incredible. So much so that my children now encourage me to get out there because they understand my purpose.
My name is Dasani Pettiford, and I'm a relationship expert, marriage and family coach, and an infidelity recovery specialist. And my giftings and my passion was really birthed out of a bad relationship that just didn't work. And it's always been said that your misery can turn into your ministry.
That's right.
And so as a result of that, I began to share with other single individuals how not to make the mistakes that I made, and what makes a good relationship. And then entering into a phenomenal marriage, I birthed an organization called Couples Academy, which is a relationship-based learning institute committed to placing couples on the path to fulfillment. And throughout my career, I've been fortunate enough to have written 13 books, 2 of which have been bestsellers, and have been traveling around the globe, really internationally, doing conferences and cruises and retreats and all types of things that would really help couples have the best relationships that they can have. And so after speaking to over 300 colleges around the country and doing all types of things, I had the fortunate opportunity of really meeting this gentleman right here. I was actually hosting a marriage conference at an entertainment and faith merged conference, and Dandre and Sally were on the panel and did a phenomenal job. And after that, we kind of connected and realized how much we had in common.
That's right.
Not just, what side of the world we came from, but just the synergy and the chemistry of our thoughts And so we formed a great relationship, and from that point, I always had a desire to kind of partner up with another individual or two so that we could take this message around the world. And that's kind of how we formed this relationship, this bond, and we're able to begin the process of what you're seeing before your very eyes.
Sometimes when you play sports and you play for a particular coach, you don't really get it because of the way he delivers his message. And we happen to be the three coaches that deliver messages in a way that no matter who you are, when you come into the room, you're gonna get it.
Right.
You're gonna get it, and your life is gonna be impacted, and it's going to be changed. Because I have been in the audience as a participant, and then all of a sudden find myself on the side, and I'm listening to Heat. I'm listening to Dasani, and I'm going, wow, that just changed me, and I'm a part of this. Like, we've been on panels where we're literally sitting together, and that's what I love. Even though we say some of the same things, there are times, because we're men and we're teachers that say it differently each time we say it. Sometimes we're so deeply entrenched in the moment that a nugget comes right on the fly, and I've never heard him say that before. I've never heard him say that before, and I've known them now for a couple of years, and I've never heard them say that before. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And now I'm making a mental note. I'm like, stole that one, need that one, because that just changed me.
Right.
So if we get changed in the midst of doing this because of how we do it, knowing what the audience has got to be experienced is such a powerful thing. And I said to Hassani yesterday, as a matter of fact, I said, this is the most important thing I've ever done in my life.
And I think what's awesome about it is that we all have different messages.
That's right.
We all deliver it in different ways.
That's right.
We have a different energy.
That's right.
We have something that is so unique, so uniquely different, but yet and still there's synergy.
Right.
And I think, as you said, it's not just what people hear, it's what they feel. And our message really resonates because the brothers who were in that room were tearing and weeping and going in.
Right.
And we were able to see really some serious transformation within just hours.
Right.
And so we said, you know what, if we can have this type of impact in a suite in a hotel, imagine if we were to get together and take this thing all across the nation, the type of change and transformation that could take place in our homes, in our communities, in our nations. And so if we could be a part of that process, then in God, knowing that God has commissioned us to do this, then we have a divine obligation to fulfill.
We're about to bring you something different. We're going to bring you something different. And I'm excited. I do believe God is all up in this situation.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the fourth member. You know what I mean? That's the one that's going to hold everything together and keep this power going.
Definitely.
And this Manhood tour has so much staying power.
That's right.
It's beyond what you see right here, right now.
That's right.
I mean, the vision of where we're going is so profound. So number one, we're talking about a Manhood tour where we're going to multiple cities all throughout the country, really making an impact in the lives of individuals. But we're also talking about having manhood camps where we reach out to middle school and high schoolers and really teaching them what manhood, maleness, masculinity means, so that as they grow up and mature, they have the right foundations in their lives.
That's right.
We're talking about creating manhood think tanks. Listen, the Republican Party has a think tank.
Right.
The Democratic Party has a think tank.
Right.
And they think not just a year, 10 years, but sometimes 400 years into the future. And we have to be thinking the same way in terms of the longevity of our people. And so by dealing with critical issues like the criminal justice system, the legal system, family, fatherhood, finances, all of these things are things that really impact men.
That's right.
And if we get on the right side of the issue, I think it will do something significant for our communities. And thirdly, listen, we believe in honoring men. So by having Manhood Awards, when was the last time that you even heard of a concept called Manhood Awards, where we identify men who have been doing great things in their households, in their communities, and being honored for it? We're living in a society today where men have become the butt of every joke. Men have been emasculated. And it seems like systemically we have been weakened as men. And so to acknowledge men who are doing great things and to celebrate them, hopefully it will become, and I say this all the time, hopefully their influence will become like an infectious disease that spreads all throughout the nation, so that manhood will rise up in every male that exists on this earth.
What I realize is when God allows you and tells you your road is for you, all you get is confirmation. And that's all we've been getting thus far about the Manhood Tour. From day one has been, great idea, it's needed. Great idea, it's needed. And I'm gonna tell you right now, these are my soldiers. We're riding, we're coming to a city near you. Go to themanhoodtour.com. That's themanhoodtour.com.
That's where you can find us, follow us, and find out what we can do to make an impact in your life and in your community.